Okay, now that we have 64 trading cards, let's go back to see Wesley, since he did want to see our collection once we made it to 64.
You found new cards? Show them to me. 64 cards. That's a full set. I never expected to be able to see a full set of these cards. I appreciate you showing them to me. Here's a little something, as promised.
Yeah, that's a lightsaber.
That light sword was a top-secret weapon developed by the U.S. Army. Just read the manual before trying to use it. Hold on to it, okay? And thank you for showing me the full set.
So that is the final melee weapon. And I don't know why this comes up again, but the lightsaber, light sword, it works the same way as any two-handed weapon, like the axe or Grekach. I don't know if it's... Well, anyway, here's the weapons Wesley has. He has, the limited ammo version of the Magnum, of the assault rifle, and the lollipop. I don't know if the lightsaber really does more damage than Grekach. I haven't had the opportunity to really use it much since I'm done with everything now. And by the way, if we stay up after midnight, no shadows appear. We don't go into Zombie Town, so if you were wondering about that, yeah. So the FBI invented lightsabers, if you didn't know. But Grekach says it has super high strength. The light sword only has high strength, so I don't know if this is any stronger. Of course, it does not possess the power of rock. Yeah, so we have a lightsaber now. But nothing to really, use it with. Let's go to Swery 65. Check out the nightlife of the new Greenvale. See who's hanging out. Yeah, it looks like Richard, Quint, and Sally are all here, so let's have a chat.
Hey!
I mean, we've done pretty much all the side quests and got pretty much all the trading cards, so at this point we might as well just talk to the people. See what they have to say before we leave for the final time.
Hey!
Yep.
Hey!
So, even though Sally lost her daughter, Quint lost his girlfriend, at least they have each other to support themselves. I like how Zach walks around everywhere with a bandage around his head now. Yeah, about that. How is she recovering? Because it looks like she's still dressed in her bathrobe. So I don't think she's making too much progress. Sure. Well, great. Oh, and by the way, that boyfriend of Anna's that you were wondering about, turned out it was George. I just thought you should know. Well, anyway, that's it for Swery 65. Let's check out the other nightclub in Greenvale. Oh. Right. Yeah, that happened. So the next day, we went to talk to Lily at the milk barn, and Lily has probably the most important dialogue of any of the NPCs during the epilogue. Let's just see what she has to say. Who's York, she says. So, that does seem to be confirmation
Hi there.
that all this time, York Zach has been introducing himself as Agent Francis Zach Morgan, but just call him Zach, that's what everyone calls him. It's kind of a question about that. What exactly has he been referring to himself to as, and what have people been seeing when they look at him? Well, we can figure that they've been seeing how he really looks all along, since people did refer to his large scar early on in the game. And Zach does have that large scar, whereas York does not. But this does seem to be confirmation that where York Zach had thought he was introducing himself as York, he was calling himself Zach the whole time. I guess that'll make things easier for Zach to reintegrate back into daily life once he goes back to Washington.
Hi there.
He won't have to change his name or anything. He's already been calling himself Zach. Right, so then after that, we went to the A&G to talk to Olivia and Nick. Nick's out of prison,
Hi there.
and the A&G is back open. So how is this married couple doing now that they're through their crisis? I think you may need a little practice. I think you may need a little practice at laughing, too. Well, Olivia's happy. That's nice. And Nick?
Hey, I'm working here. You can't just
Oh,
stroll into a
Nick.
chef's kitchen.
I thought we were cool.
Then
No,
perhaps
Nick's,
you would give me your permission to enter.
Nick's just the same as he always
Get the
was.
hell out of here.
Unfortunately. Then we went to the police station. And you guys are in charge of the whole town now. Good times. And yeah, we went to the hospital as well to see what Fiona had to say before we left. Well, you weren't a very important character. In many, many sequels. Alright, let's see what Usha has to say. Fortunately, we don't have time to challenge him to chess like he wanted.
Hey there.
I should hope so. I mean, that really is kind of nasty if he really was just eating potato chips. Who'd have thought eating potato chips wouldn't be enough?
Hey there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there could be other things we could talk to Usha about besides potato chips, but I guess that's all he wants to talk about. Bye, Usha. So after that, we drove around for a while in Harry's car from the 1956 flashback, which the General sells during the epilogue. And look who we ran into. She's still wandering about. Let's see how her pot is. Oh, I thought we were friends with the pot. Yeah, that's all she has to say. Probably doesn't know where she is. And I just realized that we never actually saw what it looks like when Jack gives you a car wash. So maybe he'll give us the special service today. Yeah, he's not nearly as enthusiastic about it as Gina. And we can't forget about the General. Let's see if he has any pearls of wisdom for us. How'd he know about our partner? But the General does know a lot about the Abyss of Death, which we'll probably find out in another game. That's a good parking job. So we can't forget about Brian, of course. Brian never getting to leave the graveyard. But he seems to know something about the forest and the Red Seed, so let's see if he has anything new to tell us before we leave. So he can see them too. But what happened to George? Well, whatever happened to him, he's not in the forest. Well, we shouldn't be surprised about that. And it looks like he filled in that grave.
Brian? That's one sick joke, isn't it?
Right, so it turns out those bones we were collecting they belonged to Brian. They were his bones. And the date of his death was in 1956, so he was a victim in the 1956 massacre. But that's it, that's everything. We've done absolutely everything there is to do. Alright, maybe one more thing.
Hey, bro! Hey! Oh, baby! Where did you find it?
Lily gave it to me. As a reward for cleaning up the storage room.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm happy to see it with you. Treat it well. I'll just do the manly thing and forget about it.
Come on now, Keith. I can't play it myself. Instruments exist to be played, not to become an ornament. What am I going to do with it? Use it as a weapon? That's not what it's for. You're the owner of this guitar. You should have it.
Bro!
Your story relit the burnt-out fire of rock in my soul.
FBI, you're all right. Hey, just hold on a moment. Take this then, in exchange. It's a gold card, our super discount card. There's no markup on anything we sell you if you use this. This, in a way, means I'd work for no pay for you, man.
Are you sure?
Of course, we're buddies, man. Yeah.
And that's it. All side quests complete. So the reward we get for that one is not so great. The gold card gives us discounts at the milk barn, but it's not like we really need them. The Grekotch is a much better thing to have. But we also have Keith's undying friendship, and that's got to count for something. But that's it, like I said, the final side quest. We're all done. Only thing left to do now is go back to the Great Deer Yard Hotel and check out. And by the way, this is Thomas's car we're driving. So everything's done. Solved the mystery, did all the side quests, got all the trading cards. About half the population of Greenvale is dead. Good job. But we caught the murderer.
York. Oh, nothing.
Right, gotta get used to not being able to talk to York. Don't have that voice in your head anymore. But we did stop the otherworldly force behind the Red Seeds. So that was more than I think York Zach could have hoped for. And like Harry said, we do have to leave. Can't just keep making excuses to stay in Greenvale. And Zack still is an FBI agent after all. He does have to report back to Washington and perhaps get assigned to a new case. I think maybe when he does his report, he'll leave out the part about the giant horror from another dimension that spread evil via red seeds. That might be a little difficult to believe. Yep, here we go. Final trip back to the hotel. Final destination of the game. And with that, it is time to leave Greenvale.
York, tonight I'm going to sleep like a baby.
We could say that we're not ready if there were still places we wanted to go and side quests we wanted to do, but we're done. We're ready.
Polly, what's that picture?
Oh, that. We took it when the clock tower was built.
50 years ago?
That's right. That's me in the middle. I was pretty popular back then. Men were always around me. Sorry to keep you waiting. Just sign here, please. Mr. Morgan? Mr. Morgan!
Oh, I'm sorry, Polly. I was just thinking of a friend. Someone who was with me for a long, long time.
He must have been a really good friend then. Otherwise, why else would you remember him at a time like this?
Indeed. We used to fight, but he really was a good person. He's gone now, though. Gone away to a place where we can't meet again.
I'm sorry to hear that. But if he's a friend of yours, I'm sure he's getting on just fine.
Thank you, Polly. You know what? I think so, too.
And that's it. Special Agent Francis Zach Morgan leaves Greenvale, apparently on foot. And aside from that last shot with Willie, it appears that everyone lives happily ever after. So, not exactly everything was explained. There are many things that went without a really explicit explanation. And I think it's kind of fun to think up your own explanations. I mean, you could take a look at what Swery has to say that certain things mean, or you could come up with your own interpretation. I kind of like the latter. So, after Deadly Premonition, Swery went on to work on, I believe, the PSP game, Lord of Arcana, which was released to middling reviews. It certainly did not seem to be the personal project that Deadly Premonition was. And I hope that Swery does get the funding to do another personal project again. Of course, if he did, what would that look like? Would it be a sequel to Deadly Premonition? Would it be a separate game? Perhaps one that used similar characters? Because Deadly Premonition did use a couple characters that were introduced in his previous game, Spy Fiction. So it seems that Swery kinda likes the whole digital actor concept as well. Kenji Ino was not the only one. But we'll get a look at that, because the next game that I'm going to be LPing is Spy Fiction. So we'll just see what happened to Swery. Or rather, I should say, what game he was working on before he hit upon this. Even though these are the credits, we're not quite done yet. There's still a little bit more to look at. 24 hours. That's it. The final chapter. Still a couple things more to look at once we get back to the main menu. So, there is an entry called leaderboards that we've been seeing pop up at the end of each chapter. We haven't looked at it yet. Why don't we look at it now? So, these are online leaderboards for various aspects of the game. I have total rank 10S. And you can see that there are different values, such as sleeping time, which I've spent 227 hours? That can't be right. And I'm only 26 out of 100. Total damage to your car, okay, yeah. Side mission solve rate, got all of them 100%, rank S. So this compares you to the other people playing the game, I guess. I honestly don't really know how this works. But it ranks you out of the top 100 people playing Deadly Premonition, I guess. Right, how many cigarettes we smoked? We smoked 33. Let's see, good for weather checks. Good fortunes. I guess all those fortunes I did must have been before my save game got deleted, because it says I didn't do any of them. That's okay. 791, 231. So, a large variety of things you can be ranked on in this game. 98% trading cards. Did we miss one? But hey, I'm number 1 as far as Vandalismes. I'm the Vandalisme champion. So I guess if you really, if you're a competitive Deadly Premonition player, you want to check the leaderboards often. And I'm number 10, apparently, of all players. Let me see where I am here, because you can see the names, the gamer cards, I guess, of the other people who are playing. Yeah, there I am. I notice that the entry dates for all of these people are May, the same month, so maybe these get reset the next month? I honestly don't know. But it's using some sort of algorithm to rank Deadly Premonition players. So let's take a look at some of the individual values. Well, I am number 1 as Vandalismes, so I did 113 Vandalismes. It's more than anyone. All those driving along the sides of the roads, crashing into telephone poles, it was all worth it. Number of shaves. I'm rank 80. Melissa B32, why are you shaving 148 times? You don't need to shave that many times. Lunch breaks? I'm number 7. So someone had more than 8 lunch breaks. You can have more than 8, but you don't get individual cutscenes for more than that. I got all of the unique cutscenes for that. Let's see, side mission. I don't know how it ranks people. Getting 100%. I guess by date. The order that people got 100% in the month of May. Again, I guess that that'll reset in June. Peeping time. I'm number 37. Oh yeah, Melissa B32 likes some peeping. She's been doing it for 12 hours. Right, so those are the leaderboards. If you really want to be the number 1 Deadly Premonition player for a month, then yeah, you can analyze how you're doing on the online leaderboards. Never seen such a useless feature in a game before, and I love it. But there's also something else here called Special, and that only appeared once we beat the game. It takes us here, back into the Red Room. But there are a few things we can do. We can take a look at this door with question marks. We can't open it, it's locked. We can take a look at our trading card album. This is what we've been looking at every time we've gotten a card. And there are some cards that didn't show in the game because they had spoilers on them. So we might as well take a look at them now. The first one was York. It mentions here that he has a dual personality named Zach. I didn't show that because I think the game flows better if you don't really know anything about Zach until York mentions it. Other cards I didn't show. I didn't show Diane because it says she's the third victim, and you get this card before she dies. Same thing with Carol, the fourth victim. I don't know why they do that, but yeah, they tell you that they die before it happens. I don't think I showed Kaysen. It doesn't say that he's an interdimensional horror. I didn't show his because I got it in the same episode as Diane's. Same with Gina's, I think. Doesn't really say much about her. So, 64 cards, and there's one missing, isn't there? Number 65. We never got that. Well, how can that be? Might as well take a look at the other things in here. Got a television that can show us cutscenes. If we really wanted to relive any of the cutscenes in the game.
Have you seen any of these things before?
We could do that. The jukebox. We can play the music from the game. Sure, why not? We can also get a closer look at the fireplace, and there are some numbers. On the mantle, we could take a look at the photos, the reference photos that Swery and his team took when they went to Washington. They used this, of course, to develop Greenvale. So yeah, they actually came to the Pacific Northwest to take photos of various buildings, wilderness, so they could create as much of a oh, look at that right there. Yeah, that's America right there. Not complaining about it. But yeah, they wanted to create the most accurate representation of a American northwestern town as they could, I guess. Hey, it's Corpse Tunnel. That's Swery. So we can take a look at those. But what about those numbers that we saw right there? TV35, JB14. Doesn't show you it for very long. But what we have to do is find the correct numbers for each of these things. So JB was, what, 14? Miss Stiletto Heel's full version. It said TV. And actually, I think I get this one wrong. I thought it was 34 when it was actually 35. Let's take a look at that again. Yeah, TV35, TC26, PT203. So let's go back to the TV and change it to 35. Don't actually have to watch the cutscenes, just have to select it. We have PT203, referring to the reference photos. So we want the second collection. Third photo down. And then the last one on there was TC26, I think it said. This is the only one that you might not get if you didn't collect the 26 trading card in the game, which was Polly. If we select all of these things, we get a sound, and now we can go into the question mark door. And now Zach is back in the White Room, and this game just never seems to end. Like the last time we were in the White Room, there are 4 doors, and we can just keep on going through them. We just keep ending up back in the same room. The last time, we encountered Harry eventually as we kept running through doors. But what will happen now? Yeah, Swery himself is the 65th card. And now that we have all 65 cards, we can end the game. Or maybe not. Because we can actually go back in the door. So what will York have to say to us if we approach him now? He doesn't have the card to give us. Let's just try that one more time. Emily's now here with him. And now, finally, that is it. That is the game, Deadly Premonition, 100%. Or at least as much as I can think of. I mean, I'm sure there was a little, dialogue box here and there that maybe I didn't see. Well, if we're ending this, I guess there's really only one song that we can use to end this on. And I did intend to show all of the cars, but I never had the time to do that. So, I hope you've enjoyed watching me play Deadly Premonition for the past 6 months. And really, the whole intention of doing this was just to show why this was my favorite game of the past few years. Yeah, people said that the gameplay is clunky, kind of awkward, old and obsolete. Yeah, these are true. But if Francis York, Zach Morgan, and his story grab you like it did me, then none of those things really mattered in the end. When I think of Deadly Premonition, I don't think about any of those other things. If the story didn't work for you, then those things will be exacerbated. All you'll probably think about are going to be the weird late 90s survival horror gameplay. But for me, I don't think about that. And like I said, I really hope that Swery does get to make another personal project like this again. Because even though the gameplay could use a bit of polish, it really was a lot more interesting than most games that I've played ever, really. So maybe you agree, maybe you don't. But at least you followed me through this, as I've been playing this game for half a year. Oh my. Well, anyway, on another note, some housekeeping. I've been doing these videos for kind of a while now, so I decided to, for the sake of trying to organize them the way I want, I made a website for that at supergreatfriend.com. If you want to take a look at it and give me some critique on the layout of the site, great. I'm all ears because I am not a website designer. But enough of that. Like I said, I hope you've enjoyed watching Deadly Premonition. The next LP will be spy fiction, and we'll see how Swery changed from one project to another. What he kept, what he discarded. And we'll see if he improved at all as a game designer. Well, I guess there's really nothing left to say. Other than, thanks for watching. And sometime in the future, I'll see you in another place. Goodbye.